Well, Incarnate Word has two really good pitchers, so to be able to go up there and get 2 out of 3 was big, especially with the tight battle at the top of this conference. To be able to go on the road, play a very good team in Incarnate Word, and to be able to come home with 2 out of 3, and really had every opportunity to sweep them, and in my mind kind of gave a game away. That's the disappointing part of it, but still the fact that we were able to get 2 out of 3 on the road against a quality opponent is something that we're going to be happy with and move forward. And we're in second place right now in this conference behind Tarleton. We still have to play them at their place 3 games, so that's going to be a huge series. But in the meantime, we got to focus on what we have ahead this weekend.
You're talking about Mary Kate bouncing back, still playing after getting a ball hit right back at her last week.
Yeah, she took one off the knee last Tuesday against St. Mary's. We got it x-rayed. It was that bad on Wednesday. She was having a lot of difficulty putting pressure on it. Fortunately, everything has turned out fine. She wasn't 100% this weekend, but good enough to go out and give us 2 great starts, and wasn't moving around great, but she should be fine 100% this week. And she's just a competitor. She keeps pitching and hitting her spots and just really keeping hitters off balance, and has done it. She's been huge for us this week or this year.
Sunday's win was kind of a milestone, and you're right. You got your 500th win as a head coach. Talk about what that means and kind of move forward.
Well, 500 wins is something that I'm proud of, and in the amount of time that I've been able to accomplish it. This being my 9th year. You do average it out, that's over 40 wins a year, something I'm very proud of. But I tell you, I've been fortunate enough to coach a lot of great players, and here at Angelo State most especially, and I'm not going to try to name them all because I'll leave off some great ones. But, you look at Macy Baker, Whitney Meeks, Brittany Cargill, my current players, Carrie Gaume, again, Claudia Lopez, Alexis Wing, Michelle Hoffman, the list goes on and on. Just great players. That I hope they feel proud of the fact that I've got 500 because they've been a huge part of it. But it's something that playing in this conference and in this region is not easy to do, and to be able to get it in the amount of time that I have, I'm very proud of.
You got your 500 career win. You're going for 400 this week here at ASU.
Yeah.
What are you going to need to do to get that win at UTPB on Wednesday?
They've got a very good left-handed pitcher. They beat us earlier in the year. We didn't play great that game, but they're going to scrap. They've got it. It's probably the best team they've ever had, and they've got a good left-handed pitcher that can throw it. So we got to make sure that we have a good at-bats when she's in the circle, most especially, and then defensively just go out and continue to do what we do well. And if we can do those things, I feel good about things. But again, we got to make sure that we understand that's an opponent that is capable. And not look forward to Texas women's too much. It's kind of a difficult and unusual scheduling the event the way we've got it. We're going to go on the road on Wednesday and then come back and start our conference series on Thursday, being that it's Easter weekend. We're going to go Thursday, Friday, and give the kids Easter weekend off. So a little bit of a different schedule for the week for us, but I think our kids will be fine and be ready to go.
A little different schedule this week. You guys had a little different lineup on Sunday. You kind of flipped Morgan Spearman and Lauren Smith there at the top of the lineup. Talk about the strategy behind that.
Well, Morgan struggled a little bit on Friday. I think went 0 for 7 on Friday and really didn't have great at bats. And Lauren was really in a zone. She had quality at bats. Hit a home run dead center off of Brianna Sanchez, who's one of the better pitchers around. And it was a team that we felt like we could steal some bases on. And if Lauren's going to have a great weekend, let's get her on base in the leadoff spot. That way, if I choose not to steal and I do want to bunt, I'm bunting Morgan instead of Casey Easley. It's hard to put a sacrifice bunt with Casey Easley in the batter's box with her power threat. But turns around, she ended up laying down a sacrifice bunt for us anyway, and a very good one at that. But just something that we thought, would change the lineup up a little bit, change our dynamic, and maybe provide a spark. And those two went out, and Lauren led off the game with a double on the second pitch, and Morgan hit a base hit to score. So, makes me look good when they go out and do things like that. But, you got to give them credit for doing their job.
Texas women's finally, looking at them. I know you kind of don't want to look too far ahead, but
well,
some speed on the bases. What do you
we have to start preparing for Texas women's in the next 2 practices, because they they're like no other team that you play in the fact that they're going to run the bases not with reckless abandon, but and they run with confidence. And Bailey, Rangelle, and Addison Staley, I think Bailey's 58 for 58 in stolen bases, and Addison's 39 for 39. So that's 97 for 97 in attempts, which is hard to believe. But they can run, and those kids can run, and we're going to have to pitch out a lot. We're going to work on that a lot. We're going to, the best way to keep them from stealing bases is to keep them off base. The hard part of that is Bailey, I think, is hitting second or third in this conference with a batting average. She's a great player. And they're going to get on base. We know that. They're going to steal bases. We know that. We're just going to have to make sure that we do our part offensively to counter those runs that those kids are going to create on their own, and just make sure that we're in position to make plays. And we trust Casey Easley behind the plate. She's got one of the best arms around, and Chelsea Walters is a 3-year starter at shortstop. So there's been several opportunities for her to defend the stolen base. So that's something that we're going to have to work on. But what they will do is steal third more than any other team. So that's something that is a little bit different and that we'll work hard on this week in practice.
All right, thanks a lot.